Hello everyone, this is Advocate Dr. Sheetal Babar, and today I shall be discussing a little about Companies Act. I will be in this session taking up two questions. First is, what is a company under Companies Act, and what are types of recognized companies, or what are types of companies which are recognized by Companies Act. To start up with a definition of company, Section 2, Clause 20 of Companies Act 2013, it defines a company as a company which is incorporated under this act or under any previous company law. So not only 2013, a company which is incorporated under 2013 enactment or amendment 2013, but it also considers all other companies which are respectively at respective point of time have been incorporated under any previous company law. So company is incorporated company, that is what we have come to know. But then this is a definition. To come up to a general understanding of what company is, it is association which is incorporated, association of natural people, natural persons, which needs to be, or which rather is incorporated. And this association of natural people is an artificial personality. So company is an artificial personality which holds the legal status. It being an artificial person, but the association of natural people gives a status of, or gives it a legal status. Company is perpetual, or it has a perpetual succession, because natural persons can die, an artificial person cannot die. Even if it is association, that association goes on and on and on, and which makes a company perpetual. Also, one of the other characteristics which defines a company is it ought to have a common seal. Now, in fact, 2020 Amendment Act, Company Act basically does not need a common seal as well. But the very characteristic of a company to be recognized as a company under Companies Act is it should have a common seal. Also, one another, and in fact, least but quite important or significant aspect is it should have a common capital which needs to be comprised or compromised of transferable shares. So if we considering a company is something which we say needs to be, or company is incorporated, a company which is incorporated under Companies Act is defined as a company, and it ought to have certain characteristics. First, it needs to be an association of natural persons. Secondly, hence it is association, it has its own legal status. This legal status is actually for the artificial personality and not individually of all of those natural persons coming in association. Thirdly, it has a perpetual succession, it never dies. And next is it has to have a common seal. And finally, but not the least, in fact, the most significant, it ought to have a common capital, transferable shares. So that is how this all comprises of a company. Now let us talk about what are kinds of companies. The very first kind of a company is statutory company. So we know what statute is. Statute is an enactment or a law which is passed by Parliament. So by a special act of Parliament, if any company is constituted, or a company otherwise constituted by a special enactment of a Parliament, is called as statutory company. Next is registered company. What is a registered company? A registered company is the one which under 2013 enactment or any other previous laws, company law, Any company which is registered under any of the company laws, the previous, the subsequent, the latest 2020 Amendment Act, all of this is a registered company. Company by limited share or company limited by share is one of the kinds of the companies. Next, companies limited by guarantee. So once we say company limited by shares, otherwise we say companies limited by guarantee, and thirdly we say companies limited or rather companies unlimited. So unlimited liability companies in fact can be the best nomenclature for this. Another kind of a company is public company, private company, or one person company. So even one single person can be a company. Association of one single person can also be a company. I shall be in my next session discussing about more details of every single kind of a company. Next, we talk about a foreign company. Another kind of a company, of course, is Indian company. So foreign company, Indian company. Next is company which is registered under Section 8 of Companies Act. In my next session, I'm going to deal up with what exactly Section 8 deals up with. There is government company, there are small companies, there are large companies, there are subsidiary companies, there are holding companies, there are associate companies, and there are many others. The producer company is also one of the kinds of company. Dormant company can also be calculated as one of the companies. So if we see what are types of companies, we can calculate these many kinds of companies. So first is statutory company, registered company, company as per limitations. So limited by share, limited by guarantee, and unlimited liability company. A private company, a public company, one person company, you also can consider foreign companies, Indian companies, companies which are registered under Section 8 of Companies Act, companies which are government companies, which are small companies, which are associate companies, which are subsidiary companies, which are holding companies, and then a dormant company. So, what is a company? We've already dealt up with, and what are kinds of companies? We have dealt up with that question as well. So this is for this session. I shall be coming up with new session talking about all the details of these kinds, all kinds of companies under Companies Act. Thank you so much.